What's going on, everybody? This is JDB from the Post Game Report podcast and talkingaboutgames.com. As always, thank you for reviewing my videos. Here I'm playing Hotline Miami, wrong number. I got into Hotline Miami, the first one, a little late because it came out on the PlayStation 3, way after it came out on the PC. And I played it mainly on the PlayStation Vita, and I was instantly hooked. When you look at these visuals, they don't look like anything to brag about. But as you can tell by that squashing of the head, there's a crap ton of violence, and underneath the old school 8-bit visuals, or 16-bit, never know. There is an interesting story with many weird layers. So I haven't finished Hotline Miami Wrong Number, which is the sequel to the original Hotline Miami, but I did finish the first one, and the way it ended, I was like, wow, I definitely want to see what the hell's going to go on in the next one. So I'm wondering if the next one is a follow-up. Now, in this particular scene that you just watched, I was freaked out, obviously, by the last scene, and I was like, yo, this game is starting off really crazy. But then, as you can read by the dialogue, it was all a freaking movie, which is cool because if you play the first one, you were pretty much expecting this game to start off the way that particular scene started off. So I believe it was, let me see, $13 something or something like that on the PlayStation Network. Of course, once you buy it on the PlayStation 4, it becomes available on the PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 3. Excuse me. And here you're seeing characters from the first one. The mask, if you're not familiar with the whole premise of the game, each mask provides a different ability when you outfit them. So as you can tell, the dialogue, this is not a kid's game, so it's very aggressive, very raunchy, and the violence tops it. Now, at Facebook, in one of the gaming groups, someone I follow, Jabari, shout out to Jabari, he actually made an interesting assessment, or he brought up a good question. He said, what's the difference between this and Hatred, which is a game that's coming out that's getting a lot of heat because you can murder innocents? And I had stated that, in my opinion, the difference is that the visuals, you can't really even make out any individual people. So you're looking at pixels. Of course, you can, as you can see here, the guy gets his head smashed in, a lot of blood. You can make out that it's a person, but you don't have dialogue. You have to read it via text, and you can't see any lifelike extremities. So there's no, even though you follow the story, and at least with the first one, the story got me hooked, but you had to play the entire game in order to understand what was going on. So where Hatred, you're a dude who wants to just kill everybody, and you have that ability to do so. And a lot of the people that you're killing are innocents. Where here, at least, not that killing anyone is justified, but here you're killing criminals. So I don't know why. And as you can see by this gameplay, with the touchpad on the PlayStation 4 controller, you can get a better viewing angle by scrolling through it. You can see I just got destroyed by a shotgun. This game is tough, just like the first one. In the first one, you didn't start off with a level with this many enemies on board. So as you saw there, I couldn't go back outside. Once you're in, you're in. So as you can tell, if you rush through the door, not only will you make noise, but you can knock down the guy in front of the door. And his partner heard me and destroyed me. And you're going to see me getting destroyed a lot, because this level is pretty challenging right off the bat. So I beat him up, I took the gun. Now that little roll, that's new. That wasn't there in the first one. And I forgot how to shoot, and his partner came along and just put me to rest. So yeah, back to the point I was making in regards to hatred and Hotline Miami. Even though Hotline Miami is ultra violent, hatred is just, it's somewhat on another level because the main protagonist, his goal is to kill everybody. So there was a lot of heat. There were people saying this game that hatred shouldn't be made because of that. I will support it simply for the fact that if I condone such a game, you're basically telling people they can't create the vision they want to create. I'm sure there's an underlying message in hatred, and we'll see when that game comes out. But it's going to be interesting to see just how crazy it really is. The premise alone is insane. So yeah, I'm doing I'm scrolling with by dragging my finger on the touchpad that's on the DS4. And when you scroll with the DS4 touchpad, you click down, like right now, you saw that my little cursor went on top of a character.
Hello.
You choose someone and you can click down on the touchpad, and that will give you the ability to lock on that individual. So you'll follow him wherever he goes, or you'll get a red indicator letting you know how far he is and where he's located. And that comes in good. Like in the first one, there were dogs, watchdogs, and things of that sort. Here you got a guy guarding the door with a shotgun. And it's a good idea to know where he's at all times, because at least with the guys with the knives and the bats, you can beat them up via fist. The guy with the shotgun, you have no freaking choice but to get him when he's in front of the door. So here I'm playing Ori and the Blind Forest, which is available on Steam and on the Xbox One. I wanted to show this off because there's a lot of people not talking about this game. Now, admittedly so, I've played the prologue and I'm in the very beginning. But the way this game opened up, wow. It tells a nice little story with little dialogue. And I'm really impressed. It looks really good. It looks like a freaking cartoon, like something you would see at the movies. And the way they're going to navigate this story, or narrate this story, and you're going to view that here, it really, in such a short time, it really brings the story together. It puts the relationship with Ori and his friend, because they don't tell you who he is, he or she. It really narrows down that story pretty immediately, and you kind of grow an attachment to these two little characters right off the bat. You see their relationship and where it goes. So look at that. Now you're gonna see like the way you're gonna see how the story is going to progress via some cutscenes, but it's freaking cool. Very well done. I am truly impressed with Ori and the Blind Forest. So much so that I don't really want to talk above it, but if you own an Xbox One or if you have a Steam account, it's going to be $20 in either console or platform. Here I got a little stuck. Speaking of platforms, I got a little stuck. If you hit the A button on the Xbox One controller, you can jump. And as you can tell, homeboy can't jump too high. Took me a little while to figure out what the hell was going on, but obviously the little platform that's hanging there looks like a swing. It was highlighted, and we all know by playing video games, when something is highlighted or painted in a different color, for example, The Last of Us or Uncharted, when you see a ledge or something painted yellow or white, you know immediately that that's where you gotta go. So I figured out the hard way that I couldn't go any more to the left. And I paused. I don't know why. Yeah, this game is really freaking pretty. Really pretty. If you're looking at this, you're thinking it's a full-blown animation. And this is an indie game. So, and this is the part, one of the parts I'm talking about, how things progress via no dialogue, and the story, you see the relationship building up here. Look at that. That's so freaking cool. You rarely see this type of narration in a game that costs $20. Look at that. That's pretty cool. And you're seeing the relationship building. Of course, what's a dark and gloomy game without something tragic happening? So this is the very beginning, so I'm not spoiling anything. And actually, when it does get a little spoilery, I cut the video off. But I wanted to show this game because there are people focusing. Obviously today, Uncharted was officially delayed till spring of 2016. And there are idiots out there harping on that. Now, there's no secret. I own an Xbox One. I made a video stating that you shouldn't buy an Xbox One right now. And I meant that as when you compare it to its competition, which is the PlayStation 4. And to a point, even Nintendo. So here's an Xbox One exclusive. It is good. It is getting a lot of high praise. But yet you have these idiots who are Xbox One fanatics. They want to focus on Uncharted. Uncharted 4, a game that, even if it was coming out this year, it wasn't going to come out till the holidays, till the end of this year. But yet, they totally forget, or they ignore the fact that they have Ori and the Blind Forest out on the Xbox One today. And it's actually good. Now, I don't know if these fanatics are just... They're excluding Ori and the Blind Forest because it's an quote-unquote independent game. I know a lot of Xbox enthusiasts. Well, I'm an enthusiast, but I know a lot of fanatics who are on the Xbox One side who are frowning upon indie games. So it makes me wonder how they're feeling now that one of the best games on their platform to date is Ori the Blind Forest, an independent game. So it just baffles me. And you know what? It's the internet. People want attention. People are going to say things to garner attention because they want to feel better about themselves, or they just want to bust some balls, and that's totally cool. I grew up with people that just wanted to bust your balls, and they'll freaking say things to see where or how they can piss you off. And so there's plenty of those people out there, and you just gotta point them out when you see them. So that is why I wanted to show Ori and the Blind Forest on the Xbox One, because hey, it's here. So instead of talking trash that Uncharted 4 got delayed, why don't you spend $20 and support the platform of your choice and support a really, really freaking good game. Look at these visuals. Look at that. Now, I heard that there was some type of performance issues. I can see a little stuttering here and there. Nothing game breaking. I'm sure a patch will fix it. Hopefully, you know, I read some articles. Look at that. It's showing you like a time lapse. Every time Ori passes by, he remembers something. You know, a great moment between the two. That's touching storytelling. That's storytelling right there. And look at that. That's freaking cool. Now, I'm definitely gonna play this. I have an injury on my hand, my thumb, and it might be tough to play because it's hurting as hell today. But eventually, I'm gonna get to this. I'm really excited to play Ori and the Blind Forest. Also, here's some feelings. I'm gonna get hurt here, but yeah, I mean, let me know what you think of Ori and the Blind Forest when you're playing it. If you're playing it on PC, if you're playing it on the Xbox One, most definitely those who own the PlayStation 4 and are they don't own multiple consoles, they're missing out on a really freaking good game. But I showed Hotline Miami, wrong number. So those owners, those fanatics, also have an independent game that's kick-ass. Helldivers, nothing to frown upon either. This is a single-player game, and you can... you're gonna... Just by the 10 minutes I put here, you can already tell that it's something to be talked about after you're finished playing. I bought a Surface Pro 3. That video should be up as well on my channel. And I tried playing some Steam games on that. It's not... I bought, you know, the i3 version, which is the entry-level one, and with only 4 gigabytes of RAM and a, you know, pretty decent CPU. It's... I believe it has a HD graphics card of 4200 or 4400. I don't know. I'm not a huge PC gamer. And so I understand that if I'm going to play Steam games, I got to sacrifice quality, turn off shadow, you know, turn off all the nice, fine details that you would see in some of the more demanding games. So for that, I'll just stick with consoles, the home console. So I was thinking of playing this on my Surface Pro 3 instead of buying it on the Xbox One. But then I faced that risk that I would have to sacrifice certain aspects of the game in order to get it to run. And based on what I've been playing, I made the right choice to get it on the Xbox One. But anyway, I really appreciate the time you guys take to watch my videos. Hopefully you subscribe. And let me know what you think about Hotline Miami, wrong number, and Ori and the Blind Forest. So as always, thank you very much, and I'll talk to you guys next time.